What up, it's Chris from Laser Lemming, and big Nintendo news. The Nintendo NX, their next console, is also going to be a handheld. It is going to, in fact, be a console handheld hybrid. You are going to be able to take the system from your home with you wherever the heck you're going. And this has been broken by Eurogamer. Yesterday I posted a video, talked about Pokemon Go, but I also talked about a rumor from Emily Rogers where she stated that the NX sounds like it's going to be expensive. And if the system is in fact a console and a handheld, yeah, that could get pricey. Now, normally Nintendo would try to sell you on both. They would try to say, hey, get your Wii, get your DS, get your Wii U, get your 3DS, get your GameCube, get your Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance SP. Whatever it is at the time, Nintendo was trying to sell two. And normally, they would actually try to sell you multiple handhelds, iteratively. They would sell the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance SP, the DS, the DS Lite, DSi, 3DS, the new 3DS, 3DS XL. Nintendo has liked to sell multiple versions of their handhelds. Now, this would be a change, and Nintendo has been working on this sort of idea for a long time now. Years ago, they decided to unify their handheld and console, I want to say their developers, but maybe it was just their hardware manufacturers. Anyway, this was in the plans for a while now. These plates were spinning for a while, and it's finally coming to fruition. Now, I've stated on multiple accounts that I didn't believe that this would be a handheld. At least I wasn't sure. I thought that Nintendo was going to be releasing a console and a handheld, but not a two-in-one. And there were multiple reasons for this, but I understand why they would go this direction. It simplifies things, because in a world of mobile, you have to kind of pick and choose, especially Nintendo. The Wii U did not perform to expectations at all. So they've had to decide where to go with this. Now, the NX, which is being rumored heavily, and this is like a rumor that's been confirmed by multiple sources to Eurogamer, has currently, in the dev kits, a Tegra X1 chip. It's a mobile chip. And when I say mobile chip, you got to think of things like cell phones, but also particularly the NVIDIA Shield. That is what they call a micro console, technically a PC that you stick at your TV and play games at. And some of the comparisons in power that they've been drawing from is that the Tegra X1 on the NVIDIA Shield can run Doom 3 BFG edition at 1080p 60 frames per second. And on the consoles, the Xbox 360, we're going 2 gens back now, it ran it at 30 frames per second, 720p. So yes, it is a big step up from the big Xbox 360, but who cares? Who cares? That's 2 gens back. Now, that's still pretty cool, I guess, that, you know, it can run that, but also you gotta think that that is a mobile chip. And the whole reason for that is because they don't want it to overheat, they don't want to have loud fans spinning around for the handheld portion of it. When you're taking the thing on the go, they don't want it to get hot and loud. That's it. So Nintendo actively, according to the rumors, actively chose to downgrade the power in order to make the handheld portion of this possible. This is a huge gamble on Nintendo's half, because they have to decide that they would rather have a weaker system than not have a handheld in this race at all. Because handhelds, while profitable for Nintendo, especially in Japan, have been going the way of the dodo. At least the writing is on the wall. When more people are playing cell phone games, specifically Pokemon Go, the most popular game in the world right now, Nintendo can see that handhelds kind of are on their way out. And so, what's the best they could do? They have to unify. So, the coolest thing about this to me is that handheld developers and console developers are no longer separate entities. They are one and the same. If a game is made for a console, you could play it on the handheld. If a game is made for a handheld, you could play it on the console. This helps alleviate Nintendo's third-party situation, because it's bad. It's not good at all. Nintendo has been hurting really bad, specifically with the Wii U. With the Wii U, the third-party situation just took a nosedive really hard, really quickly. So, they've been relying on themselves. And if Nintendo just assumes the worst, that they will be relying on themselves a year from now, 2 years from now with the NX, they know that at least they can supply their own games to the system, like they have been with the Wii U. But with the Wii U, the output was significantly lower because developers were split. A lot of games that might have been cool on the Wii U did not appear on the Wii U because they were being made for the 3DS, and it would have cost a lot of money and time to up-port it. Likewise, a lot of games that were on the Wii U that would have been good on the 3DS did not come to the 3DS because it would have cost a lot of time and resources. So, if you have one NX system that plays both, Nintendo has a steadier, healthier lineup of games coming. So that works for Nintendo. It's not a catch-all though, because like I've said so many times before, Nintendo is severely lacking in genres. Now, with the fact that this is also a handheld, Nintendo is also going to be getting some third-party support from Japanese developers. There's already been some Japanese developers announcing support. Square has announced support. Sega just recently announced the Sonic 2017 project, whatever you want to call it, Sonic Generations 2. That's been announced for the NX. Ubisoft, Western developer, has announced Just Dance. Who cares? But Japanese developers still like handhelds. Japanese gamers still like handhelds. So you are going to get Japanese third-party support on the NX. It might not be what people like me want to play though. So I would really like for this thing to get some Western support. What I'd also really like is for Nintendo to get another Rare. They sold Rare. I understand why. They kind of had their backs to the wall on it, but times like these, I wish for Rare more than ever, because Rare gave us Perfect Darks, Jet Force Geminis, Banjo-Kazooies. They did it all. Nintendo really liked the family-friendly image. Rare liked the family-friendly image, but they also liked the unfamily-friendly image. So I miss them. I miss them. They really help fill the gaps that Nintendo does not fill on their own. So, I'm rambling. I think it's kind of interesting. Now, I said that right now that it's a Tegra X1, which I guess uses a fan. From what I've been reading today, it uses a fan to cool the system. Not a loud fan though, but they're saying in these dev kits the fan is kind of loud, which is leading people to believe that really this system will use a Tegra X2, which is not yet out. And Nintendo's just giving people something to work with. And this happens all the time. In dev kits, you are not getting final hardware until the final hardware is out. So what they're working with is beta, essentially. Meaning the system could be more powerful and quieter and cooler than what they are working with right now. So I'm optimistic. Other thing is carts have been confirmed. Cartridges. The system is using hard physical media. No longer are DVDs and Blu-rays working. We're going back to 96 because that's what's up, I guess. Some people are negative about this, but honestly, I think going back to cartridges is awesome. Faster load times, you could store more save data, DLC, whatever you want on that extra space on the cartridge. Right now, according to the rumors, Nintendo is recommending developers order a 32 gigabyte cartridge for their game. Most games could probably fit on that. Not all. Every handheld game you could imagine could fit on that, but not every console game, especially when it comes to Western third-party games. A lot of these games are maxing out their 50 gigabytes on the PS4 and the Xbox One. So we'll see where that goes. But 32, as far as these rumors are concerned, is not the limit. You can order a bigger cartridge, just like you could on the 3DS, DS. I'm sure you could on the Super Nintendo, maybe the NES. But cartridges are more flexible that way. However, that could lead to flexible pricing as well. I don't know if y'all remember this, but I remember seeing Super Nintendo games. Some of them were $40, some of them were $90, and I'm sure cartridge production costs played a part in that. So we'll see if we go backwards a little bit in that manner. However, with the 3DS and the DS, they've been pretty consistent. There is a $10 difference in some games, but not all. I'm rambling. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think of a console handheld hybrid, specifically with the NX? You got Sony and Microsoft trying to outdo each other with iterative consoles, and this system that you take home, I didn't even mention this, you take the handheld home, put it on a dock. There's rumors that the dock can possibly add more power to the system. I wouldn't guarantee it, I wouldn't bank on it, but if it does, that would be pretty cool. All kinds of rumors and patents that Nintendo have had circling for the last few years, including cloud-based power that would make the system or the games look better through other systems powering your system, and a whole bunch of nonsense. Who knows what's going to happen? September is supposed to be the official reveal. I'm hoping that this leak puts Nintendo's back to the wall and they say, hey, August 1st, let's talk about it. I don't even know what day August 1st is, but I want Nintendo to show off this damn system already. Again, let me know your thoughts, comment section below. What do you think of the NX? What do you think of a handheld console hybrid? Do you like the idea? Do you not? Let me know, comment section below. Subscribe more if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.